In this special video, you'll find out why certain food choices could be affecting your aging more than you realize, and how making a few simple adjustments to your diet can transform your vitality. You'll be surprised by the last food. But before we begin, I want you to pay close attention to this story, because it will be very important for you to understand the great lesson of this video. High on a steep mountain, there lived an old man known for his exceptional vitality. At 103 years old, he walked with the agility of a young man, and his mind was as sharp as that of a scholar. The people of the valley spoke wonders of his energy and wisdom, wondering what his secret might be. One day, a curious young man decided to undertake the arduous journey to the top of the mountain. After days of walking along winding paths and climbing steep rocks, he finally arrived at the old man's modest hut. The wise man, with a warm smile, invited him in. "You have traveled far, young man," said the old man in a serene voice. "You must be hungry. How about sharing with me the food I'm preparing?" The intrigued young man nodded enthusiastically. Little did he know that he was about to discover a treasure trove of culinary wisdom that would change his life forever. Before we begin, if you find value in these videos, please subscribe and click the bell to stay updated. The wise old man smiled mysteriously as he pulled a handful of small blue spheres from his pocket. "Do you know why I am 103 years old and have the memory of a young man of 20? He asked. The answer was literally in the palm of his hand, and it's about to revolutionize the way you think about longevity. These little blue treasures," the old man continued, holding up the blueberries, "are much more than just a fruit. They are the key to keeping your brain young and agile." The young disciple looked on in amazement, never imagining that something so small could have so much power. Have you ever thought that the fountain of youth might be hidden in your refrigerator? Well, get ready, because these tiny fruits are backed by science as true warriors against aging. Blueberries are an antioxidant bomb, those microscopic superheroes that fight oxidative stress in our bodies. Imagine these antioxidants as an army of tiny shields, protecting your cells from the damage caused by aging. It's like having your own internal security team around the clock. But wait, there's more. A recent study has shown that regular consumption of blueberries is linked to improved cognitive function in older adults. It's as if these little fruits were personal trainers for your brain, keeping it fit and agile. The old man, with a twinkle of amusement in his eye, shared an anecdote. "When I was young, I thought the only way to keep my mind sharp was to solve puzzles all day long. Imagine my surprise to discover that the answer was in my breakfast." With a mischievous grin, he added, "You know, since I started eating blueberries regularly, my memory has improved so much that I now remember even the bad jokes my grandfather used to tell. I'm not sure if that's a blessing or a curse." The young disciple couldn't help but laugh, realizing that wisdom and humor often go hand in hand. "So, you're saying these blueberries are like a time machine for the brain?" he asked, intrigued. "Exactly," the old man replied. "It's like giving your brain a one-way ticket to the past, but without the side effects of traveling 88 miles per hour in a DeLorean. So, dear friends, the next time you see a blueberry, remember, it's not just a fruit, it's a passport to a younger, more agile mind." Who would have thought that the fountain of youth would be so delicious? The wise old man smiled mischievously as he leaned forward, as if about to reveal the best-kept secret in the universe. Have you ever wondered why some old people seem to have the vitality of a 20-year-old? He asked with a twinkle in his eye. The answer might be hidden in the greenest corner of your kitchen. The young disciple, intrigued by this statement, came closer, eager to discover the mystery. The old man continued, "You see, green leafy vegetables are like little shields against the passage of time. They are rich in vitamins A, C, and K, which are crucial for maintaining good eye health, a strong immune system, and strong bones. But that's not all," the elder added enthusiastically. "The folates present in these vegetables are like the architects of your body, necessary for the production of cells, new and healthy. It's like having a construction crew constantly working to keep your body in top condition." The young man, although interested, could not help but grimace at the thought of eating more vegetables. The old man, noticing his reaction, let out a laugh. "Ah, I see you're not very fond of vegetables. Let me tell you something funny. When I was young, I used to think spinach would give me superpowers like Popeye. Turns out I was right. Only my superpowers are longevity and vitality." This anecdote made the young man relax and smile. The older man paused, allowing his words to settle. Then, in a more serious tone, he continued, "A recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that people who regularly consume green leafy vegetables have a significantly lower risk of developing age-related chronic diseases. It's as if every bite of these vegetables is a little elixir of youth." "But," the old man added with a mischievous smile, "it's not just a matter of reluctantly eating vegetables. It's about enjoying the process, appreciating the flavors and textures that Did you know that there are over 1,000 varieties of leafy green vegetables in the world? It's like having an endless buffet of options to maintain your youth." The young man, now completely captivated, asked, "And how can I incorporate more of these vegetables into my diet?" The old man smiled, pleased by his disciple's interest. "Oh, that's the right question. Start by adding a handful of spinach to your morning smoothie. Try different salads with kale, arugula, or romaine lettuce. Experiment with sautéed chard or broccoli. The key is variety and finding ways that you like. Remember," the elder concluded, "that taking care of your body is not just a matter of longevity, but of quality of life. As the Roman philosopher Seneca said, life is long if you know how to use it. And one of the best ways to use it is to nourish your body with the right foods." The mountain elder smiled at the look of amazement on his young apprentice's face. "Ah, I see you noticed my salmon dish," he said with a wink. "This is not just any fish, you know. He's a born fighter, both in the water and in our body. Salmon, that brave swimmer who dares to go against the current, holds in its silvery scales a treasure of youth. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, this fish is like an elixir of life for our cells." "These fatty acids," explained the old man, "are like little shields that protect our brain and heart from the passage of time. But salmon is not alone in this mission. Other fatty fish such as sardines, tuna, and mackerel also join this crusade against aging. It is as if nature would have created an aquatic army to defend our health." "Did you know that the famous philosopher Hippocrates was already talking about the benefits of fish more than 2,000 years ago?" the old man asked. He said, "Let your food be your medicine." And boy, was he right. A recent study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that people who regularly consume fatty fish have a 15% lower risk of developing heart disease. It's as if every bite of salmon is a little shield for our heart. "But it's not just good for the heart," the elder continued. "DHA, one of the omega-3 fatty acids present in salmon, is crucial for keeping our brains in shape. It's like every time you eat salmon, you give your brain a little workout." The young apprentice listened intently, fascinated by how a simple fish could have so much power. "So, should I eat salmon every day?" he asked eagerly. The old man laughed. "You don't need to turn into a grizzly bear," he joked. 2 or 3 servings a week is enough. The key is variety and balance. Besides," added the old man with a twinkle in his eye, "salmon are as versatile as beneficial. You can roast it, bake it, grill it, or even eat it raw in sushi. It's like having a culinary superpower in your kitchen." The young man nodded, excited to incorporate this new knowledge into his diet. "But there's something else," the older man said. "Salmon not only nourishes us, it also teaches us a valuable lesson." "What lesson?" the apprentice asked, intrigued. "The salmon reminds us of the importance of swimming against the current when necessary," the elder replied. "In life, sometimes we must go against the grain to achieve our goals. The salmon do it to spawn, we do it to grow and improve." "Now, my young apprentice," said the old man with an impish smile, "let's talk about brains." The young man looked at him in confusion, but the old man continued, "No, not the kind you carry in your head, but the kind you can carry in your pocket." With a dramatic gesture, the old man pulled a handful of nuts from his bag. "See these little brains? They are the key to wisdom and longevity." The young man couldn't help but laugh, imagining miniature brains everywhere. But the old man wasn't kidding. "Walnuts," he explained, "are a real nutritional treasure. These little brains are full of omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and proteins that are like an elixir for your mind and body," he enthused. The young man, intrigued, asked, "But how can these little nuts do so much?" The old man smiled, pleased by his apprentice's curiosity. "You see, Nuts are like a shield against aging. Their healthy fats help keep your heart strong, while their antioxidants fight the cell damage that causes us to age. Did you know that the ancient Romans called them food of the gods? The old man continued. And they were right. Recent studies have shown that eating nuts on a regular basis can improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of age-related diseases. The young man, fascinated, began to see the nuts with new eyes. So, should I eat nuts all day long? He asked enthusiastically. The old man laughed. Moderation is key, my young friend. A handful a day is enough to reap their benefits. But it's not just about eating them, the sage cautioned. It's important to incorporate them into a balanced diet. Add them to your salads, use them as a topping on your yogurts, or simply enjoy them as a snack. Variety is the key to good nutrition. The elder continued to share his wisdom. Nuts are versatile and delicious. You can use them in savory or sweet dishes. Even great chefs use them to add texture and flavor to their creations. And don't forget, he added with a wink, that by eating nuts, you're literally feeding your brain. It's like you're giving your mind a little nourishing hug every time you consume them. The young man, now excited, began to see nuts everywhere. Master, he said, laughing, I think I'm seeing brains everywhere. The old man smiled, pleased to see that his lesson had sunk in. Remember, the sage concluded, that true wisdom is not only in what you eat, but in how you live. Nuts are just one piece of the longevity puzzle. Positive attitude, regular exercise, and meaningful relationships are just as important. The old man slowly got up and walked over to a small refrigerator in the corner of the room. Now, he said with an enigmatic smile, let me show you something that might change the way you look at aging. He pulled out a pitcher filled with a deep, richly colored liquid. Are you ready to discover the power hidden in this simple juice? The young man watched curiously as the old man poured the purple liquid into 2 cups. What is that? He asked, intrigued. The sage replied, This, my dear apprentice, is grape juice. But it is not just any juice, it is an elixir of youth that has been in front of our eyes all this time. An elixir of youth? Really? The young man couldn't help but laugh, thinking the old man was joking, but the sage's serious expression made him realize that there was something else deep in his words. You see, the old man continued, this juice contains a compound called resveratrol, a powerful antioxidant that fights cellular aging. It's like a protective shield for our body. The young man took a sip, savoring the sweet nectar. Delicious. But how can something so simple be so powerful, he asked. That's the beauty of nature, replied the old man. Resveratrol is not only in grapes, but also in other purple fruits like blackberries and blueberries. It's as if nature has given us a color code to identify the foods most beneficial. The sage went on to explain, recent studies have shown that resveratrol can improve cardiovascular health and brain function. It has even been suggested that it may activate genes related to longevity. Imagine drinking the fountain of youth every day. The young man, fascinated, asked, So, should I drink liters of grape juice every day? The old man let out a laugh. Not so fast, young man. As Aristotle said, virtue lies in the middle ground. Moderation is key, even with the healthiest foods. The young man nodded, understanding the wisdom in the old man's words. It's fascinating how something so commonplace can have so much power, he mused. But the old man wasn't finished. With an enigmatic smile, he asked, What if I told you that the secret to maintaining youth is not only in what you eat, but in the tiny tenants that live in your gut? The apprentice looked at him in confusion. Tenants in my gut? What are you talking about, master? The sage laughed softly. I'm referring to probiotics, my young friend. Those little beneficial bacteria that inhabit our digestive system and are critical to our health and longevity. With a theatrical gesture, the old man pulled a container of yogurt out of the fridge. This simple food is a true fountain of youth. It's full of probiotics that not only improve our digestion, but also strengthen our immune system and help us fight aging. The young man looked at the yogurt in amazement. You mean this ordinary yogurt is actually an elixir of youth? Exactly, nodded the old man. The ancient Bulgarians knew that. In fact, Bulgarian bacteriologist Stamen Grigorov was the one who discovered Lactobacillus bulgaricus, the bacteria that ferments milk to produce yogurt. It's no coincidence that Bulgaria has one of the longest living populations in the world. The elder continued, "You see, these probiotics are like an army of tiny warriors fighting for your health. They maintain balance in your gut microbiota, which is crucial for healthy aging. Recent studies have shown that a healthy gut microbiota can positively influence chronic inflammation, a key factor in aging," the sage explained. "It's like you have a garden in your gut, and these probiotics are the gardeners that keep everything in perfect balance." The young man, fascinated, asked, "So I should eat yogurt all day?" The old man laughed. "Moderation is key, as always. One yogurt a day is enough. But remember, not all yogurts are the same. Look for those that contain live, active cultures, and avoid those that are full of added sugars. In addition," the sage continued, "yogurt is not the only source of probiotics. Kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and other fermented foods are also excellent choices. The variety is important for maintaining a diverse and healthy microbiota." The young man, excited by this new knowledge, began to look at his yogurt in a completely different way. "Master," he said with a smile, "I think I'll start talking to my yogurt every morning. You know, to thank my little allies." The old man let out a laugh. "Well, I'm not sure they can hear you, but gratitude is always a good practice. As Marcus Aurelius said, when you get up in the morning, think of the precious privilege of being alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." And now we can add, "and eat yogurt." Remember, the sage concluded, that true wisdom lies in understanding that our body is a complex ecosystem. Taking care of our intestinal tenants is as important as taking care of ourselves. It is part of the balance we seek in life. Before moving on to the next superfood, if you're liking the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you enjoy this type of content as much as I do, comment, "I love wisdom." Also, I'd love to know what topics you'd like to see in upcoming videos. I read all comments. By the way, I'm working on an ebook that will soon be available. I'll leave you the link posted in the comments so you can purchase it. Let's keep learning together and improving our lives. The wise old man stood up with an enigmatic smile and walked over to a small teapot steaming in the corner of the room. "Have you ever wondered if the fountain of youth might be hidden in your kitchen?" he asked, as he poured a liquid of colored light green in 2 ceramic cups. Get ready to discover how this age-old elixir could be your secret ally in the quest for eternal vitality. The young man watched curiously as the old man offered him one of the cups. "What is this?" he asked, intrigued. The wise man replied, "This, my dear apprentice, is green tea. But it is not any tea, is a concoction that has been revered for centuries in the East for its rejuvenating properties." "A tea that rejuvenates? Sounds too good to be true," the young man commented skeptically. The old man let out a laugh. "Ah, doubt, the constant companion of youth. But let me tell you something that might change your perspective." The sage began to explain, "Green tea is full of powerful antioxidants called catechins, especially one known as EGCG. These compounds are like little warriors that fight cell damage in our bodies, helping to maintain our youth." "But that's not all," the old man continued enthusiastically. "Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that works synergistically with caffeine to improve brain function. It's like giving your mind a mild but powerful boost." The young man, now intrigued, took a sip from his cup. It tastes interesting. But how can a simple drink do so much?" he asked. "Ah, that's the beauty of nature," the old man replied. Dr. Andrew Weil, an expert in integrative medicine, points out that green tea is one of the healthiest beverages you can consume. Not only does it fight cell damage, but it also promotes longevity. The sage continued, "Did you know that Zen monks, known for their longevity and mental clarity, have been drinking green tea for centuries? It is no coincidence that many of the blue zones, areas of the world where people live the longest, are in the habit of drinking green tea on a regular basis. But it's not just about drinking it," the elder cautioned. "The ritual of preparing and enjoying tea is equally important. It's a time for calm and reflection, a pause in our busy day that allows us to reconnect with ourselves. The young man, fascinated, asked, "So I should drink green tea all day?" The old man laughed. "Moderation is key, my young friend. 2 or 3 cups a day is enough to reap its benefits. Remember, as Aristotle said, virtue lies in the middle ground. And don't forget," the sage added with a wink, "green tea can also help you maintain a healthy weight. It increases energy expenditure and promotes fat oxidation. It is like have a personal trainer in a cup." The young man, now excited, began to see green tea with new eyes. "Master," he said with a laugh, "I think I begin to understand why the ancients regarded tea as an elixir of life." "Exactly," smiled the old man. As the philosopher Lao Tse said, "Tea is the elixir of life." The ancients already knew the power of this simple leaf. We are just rediscovering this wisdom. The young man nodded, fascinated by the revelation about the tea. Then the old man looked at him with a mischievous twinkle in his eye. "But wait, there's more. What if I told you that the next stop on our journey to eternal youth is your spice rack?" The apprentice looked confused at the sage, who strode steadily toward the kitchen. With a theatrical gesture, he opened a small jar filled with a bright, deep yellow powder. "Do you recognize this golden spice?" the old man asked with a smile. "Turmeric?" replied the young man, still not understanding. "Exactly," exclaimed the sage. "This little wonder is like a powdered elixir of youth. The ancient Indians called it the spice of life, and they were not wrong." The old man began to explain enthusiastically, "Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which is like a protective shield for our cells. Imagine curcumin as an army of little golden warriors fighting against aging in every corner of your body." "But master," interrupted the young man, "how can a simple spice do so much?" The sage smiled, pleased by his apprentice's curiosity. "Ah, that is the beauty of nature. Curcumin is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It's like having a cleansing and repair team working 24/7 in your body." The elder continued, "Did you know that in India, where turmeric is a staple food, the rates of age-related diseases are significantly lower? This is no coincidence. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for thousands of years. Recent studies have shown that curcumin can improve heart health, reduce chronic inflammation, and even have positive effects on brain health," the sage explained. "It's like you're giving your body a daily dose of youth." The young man, now intrigued, asked, "So I should eat spoonfuls of turmeric every day?" The old man let out a laugh. "Not so fast, my young friend. As Hippocrates said, the dose makes the poison. A little turmeric in your daily meals is enough. Plus," the sage added with a wink, "turmeric is best absorbed when combined with black pepper and a source of healthy fat. It's as if nature has given us a perfect recipe for longevity." The old man began preparing a golden infusion, mixing turmeric, black pepper, and a little coconut oil in hot water. "This drink is like a warm hug for your body," he explained, "perfect to start the day or to relax you before bed." The young man took a sip of the golden infusion and smiled. Not bad. But master, don't you think after drinking so much turmeric I'll start to see all yellow?" The old man laughed heartily. "Well, if that happens, at least you'll see life with a brighter and more optimistic touch." The old man smiled mysteriously. "Speaking of bright colors, what would you say if I told you there was an obscure food that could brighten your health, a guilty pleasure that actually hides the secret of youth?" The young man looked intrigued at the sage, who pulled a small bar of dark chocolate from his pocket. "Chocolate? Really?" the apprentice asked, with a mixture of surprise and skepticism. "Not just any chocolate," the old man replied with a twinkle in his eye. "Dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa is like a treasure trove in the world of the healthy foods. It is rich in antioxidants and flavonoids, compounds that are like little warriors fighting against aging in your body." The young man couldn't help but laugh. "Are you telling me that eating chocolate is good for me? It sounds too good to be true." "Ah, but it's true," nodded the sage. "The flavonoids in dark chocolate are like a shield, protective for your heart. They help lower blood pressure and improve blood circulation. It's like giving your cardiovascular system a warm, comforting hug. But that's not all, the elder continued enthusiastically. Recent studies suggest that regular consumption of dark chocolate may improve cognitive function. It's like giving your brain an extra boost of energy and clarity. The young man, now genuinely interested, asked, "So I have to eat chocolate all day?" The old man let out a laugh. "Not so fast, my young friend. As Aristotle said, la virtue is in the middle ground. A little dark chocolate a day is enough to obtain its benefits. Plus," the sage added with a wink, "dark chocolate can also improve your mood. It contains compounds that stimulate the production of endorphins and serotonin, the so-called happiness chemicals. It's as if every bite is a little hug for your soul." The old man broke the tablet and offered a piece to the young man. "Try it, but do it carefully. Savor every bite. Let it slowly melt in your mouth. Conscious pleasure is part of the secret." As the young man tasted the chocolate, the sage reflected, "You know, life is like this chocolate. Sometimes it may seem bitter at first, but if you savor it with patience, you will discover its hidden sweetness. And just like dark chocolate, life's simple pleasures, when enjoyed in moderation, can contribute to a long and happy existence. As the ancient Greeks said, we are what we eat. Since time immemorial, the transformative power of food has been recognized. We are only rediscovering this wisdom, even in the most unexpected places like a chocolate bar." As the chocolate melted in his mouth, the apprentice realized that something crucial was missing. "Master," he said, "all these tips are valuable, but what is the secret ingredient that ties them all together?" The old man's answer was about to change his perspective forever. The sage smiled, his eyes sparkling with knowledge as yet unrevealed. "Ah, my young friend, you have come to the heart of the matter. All these foods are wonderful, but there is one secret ingredient that surpasses them all. Can you guess what it is?" The young man pondered for a moment, mentally reviewing all he had learned. "Moderation?" he ventured. "Excellent observation," nodded the old man. "Moderation is certainly important, but the real secret is even simpler and at the same time more profound." The old man paused dramatically before continuing. "The most important secret ingredient for a long and healthy life is balance, not just in what we eat, but in how we live every day. You see," the sage explained, "a balanced and varied diet is essential, but balance goes beyond food. It's about finding harmony in all aspects of our lives: work and rest, activity and relaxation, solitude and companionship." The young man listened attentively, fascinated by this new perspective. The old man continued, "As Aristotle said, virtue lies in the middle ground. This applies not only to ethics, but also to our health and longevity. Think about it," the sage continued. "We've talked about blueberries, spinach, salmon, walnuts, grape juice, yogurt, green tea, turmeric, and dark chocolate. Each has its unique benefits, but the real magic happens when we combine them in a balanced diet." The old man stood up and began to walk slowly, gesturing as he spoke. "Consistency is key. It's not about eating miracle foods once in a while. It's about maintaining healthy habits over time. As philosopher Will Durant said, interpreting Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And don't forget pleasure," the wise man added with a wink. "Enjoying food is as important as what we eat. Stress and anxiety can counteract the benefits of even the healthiest diet." The young man nodded, beginning to understand the depth of this teaching. "So, the key is in how we live each day, not just what we eat." "Exactly," the old man exclaimed enthusiastically. "True youth comes from how we live each day. Remember, a positive attitude, meaningful relationships, regular exercise, restful sleep, all of these elements are just as important as nutrition." The sage paused, allowing his words to settle. Then, with a warm smile, he concluded, "Remember, longevity is not just about adding years to your life. It's about add life to your years. As psychologist Carl Jung said, the life truly lived is the life that is full of meaning." The young man stood up, feeling deep gratitude to his teacher. "Thank you, old man, for sharing your wisdom with me. I promise to apply these teachings in my life." The young man stood, he said goodbye and began his descent down the mountain. His mind was buzzing with new ideas, and his heart was full of inspiration. He knew that this encounter had changed his life forever. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "We are what we eat," so I know who the victors are that made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content like this in the future. Finally, if you value my work and want to support me, you can become an exclusive member of the channel and enjoy the advantages. I leave you the link in the commentary attached. A big hug and see you in the next video.